All right, they're late. They're late. Twitter? Are they on Twitter? Oh, they are on Twitter. Yo, is that Barkeep? Okay. Here we go. I think it's about 6 cards in total, and there's 3 of them here, but there's also some tokens, so I don't know. But I see a back alley bar here, and I am already getting excited, but we'll start from left here. 3 mana 3/3 Mecha Pulverizer equipment. To play, discard 1, and it's in Bandle City. Okay. Giving something +3/+3 for 3 mana, and to play it, you have to discard 1. So the deck that this card would go into has to be a deck like Lulu Chompers, right? Would this be playable in Lulu Chompers? This seems kind of bad. 8/7 Rumble, yeah, but do you care about that? I don't think I care about an 8/7 Rumble. On the other hand, though, if you equip this on Rumble, and then you give Rumble Flamespitter, he levels in 1 strike. He levels in 1 attack. This card seems unplayable to me. Mecha Pulverizer, I don't see it. I think even if Lulu Chompers was the best deck in the game, they wouldn't play this. You discard the extra copies of Yumi. Even that, I don't really see it. I don't think so. That is actually interesting, though. If you are playing Attach and you draw like multiple copies of something, yeah. I can kind of see it, but I also don't really think so. If that's the only use for it, it's not going to find play in a main deck. I think this one is not very good. Let's move on to the exciting one. 6 mana Landmark from Piltover. And 6 mana Landmarks, they generally kind of excite me. You know, like the Howling Abyss. I kind of like that. When I've summoned some of the back alley Barkeep, your new cards cost 1 less. I was low-key hoping, like, round start, summon the back alley Barkeep. That's what I had in my mind the entire time. What new cards cost 1 less? What is new cards? Does new cards mean created? Because new could also mean Zoe. Right? Zoe cares about new cards? It is something that's in the game, so I'm not sure what this means. Cards you haven't played? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I think new means cards you haven't played before. Is that good? No, not really. I don't think I want to pay 6 mana for 1 back alley Barkeep. But that being said, I'm going to play the hell out of it anyway. That's a trash card, but it speaks to me. I don't know if you've seen my back alley decks, and they're pretty fun. It's a content card, exactly. It's bad, but I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to play the hell out of this card. It's just like ARAM. From now on, every single Piltover deck needs at least 1 back alley bar. Back alley bar ARAM deck, exactly, yeah. All right, moving on. This one, pretty bad, but it's exciting at least. It's for me. They made this card for me. Targon equipment, 2 mana, the Darkin Lodestone, and it gives +1/+1. Darkin, oh, it has attacks too. It's a Darkin. Support, grant my support ally +1/+1. You may spend 8 mana to play me as Horazi. Oh, so this is like the Ballista card, right? Where it starts as an equipment, and then you can choose to play it as a unit. I love that flavor. I would honestly be super happy if they do that with every Darkin. That's super cool. Very, very cool. So if we go to the next page, we should see, yeah, okay. Horazi. 8 mana 7/7, spell shield, grow my support ally stats to mine, and give it my positive keywords this round. Give it my positive keywords this round. So if you can grow the stats on Horazi and give Horazi something like Overwhelm, it becomes quite good. But for 8 mana, you still have to grant it another keyword. Okay, so the thing is, it looks not great, but you have to think about the flexibility, right? Because you can play this as an equipment, and then if your unit dies, you get the equipment back, and then if you're like late in the game, you can just summon that 8 mana 7/7. These units play with spell mana, so it can be played on turn 5. You can't play this unit with spell mana. I read it somewhere, or a dev said it somewhere, but these are not playable with spell mana. If that was the case, though, yeah, it'd be pretty broken. But this is 8 spell mana, sadly. Yeah. I'm sorry, chat. I wish Targon got a card like this that's just played on turn 5 and make sure Zoe is 7/7 elusive. I would have liked that. I am a Targon enjoyer, but sadly, that's not what it is. I don't really know what I think about this card. Support grandma, support ally +1/+1, gifts +1/+1. So what do you play? Okay, if you play a Spacey Sketcher on turn 1, you get a Serpent. You attack with a 2/2 and you make your Serpent a 2/2. No, that still seems bad. I don't know. I just don't know how to use this. What happens if you give this to a support ally, by the way? If you give this to a support ally, do they have like 2 support effects? If you give this to a Tarek, it gives the support ally tough plus his spell +1/+1. I think it's a cool card. I could actually see this being played because of the flexibility, but by itself, it doesn't seem that good. The flexibility has to make it good. You have to be able to make use of the weapon early game, and then when your unit dies, that the +1/+1 is on, you get Horazi in the late game, and you make your Zoe a 7/7. That has to be the way to do it. What happens if you give it to a unit that spawns other units? You give it to a unit that spawns... I don't know what that means. Like Hecarim. Oh, then Hecarim will support the ally spawns. Yeah, Lulu does the same thing. If you play Elise, then Lulu, and then a spider spawns, the spider will be a 4/4. Yep. Okay. 2 mana, fast speed in Targon. Targon gets a fast speed spell. Obliterate an ally and create a corrupted form with its stats. And oh, wow, that's pretty cool actually. And that's a 3 mana equipment that gets the stats from the ally you obliterate. Man, that's 5 mana though. That's 5 mana to kill your own unit and then give it stats. And there's no keywords. Oof. I don't really know what to think about this. Bad Bayou Brunch, yeah, but it's fast speed. Like, Targon getting access to fast speed is always really powerful for the region because they don't really do that. I love the flavor of this card though. Like, you obliterate something and you turn it into a weapon. It is the Darkin card. Respond to a vengeance, yeah, that has to be it. That has to be it. Like, I kind of like it for that reason. It's like, oh damn, they're killing my 5/5, my warrior, if you ever pick it. You obliterate it, and suddenly you can give something +5/+5 for 3 mana all game long. That's really good. Zoe with Bubble Bear, corrupted form. It doesn't work though because you don't get the keywords. It's just the stats. Good for fate. Yeah, it could be 2 triggers. Like, you do this 1 turn, trigger your Pantheon +1, and then you give the weapon on next turn. It's I don't think it's good, but it is a really interesting design, and it makes me want to experiment with it. Because again, the fact that Targon gets away to like say nope when you're trying to remove their units because they already have Spell Shield too, they can do something like this on fast speed. That's interesting. More important question, what if they already have a weapon? Do you get to duplicate the stats? That's a good question, actually. I think so. I think you're right. If you obliterate a unit with a weapon, you obliterate both the unit and the weapon, but it keeps the stats. So if you have a 4/4 that has a weapon equipped that gives +2/+2 and it becomes a 6/6, I think your corrupted form will be a 6/6 too. I think that's how it should work. I think so. So overall, these cards are not very good in my opinion. I think the Darkin Lodestone has potential though. I don't want to say it's very good, but I think it is it's worth considering. All right, we can do some really fast ratings because I don't think these cards are like super impressive. Oh wow, okay, well, small. Mecha Pulverizer. This I am going to give a 1 out of 10. I think it's actually that bad. Yeah, maybe even a 2, but I think this card will never ever see play. It seems so bad. I don't see a deck where you would want to play this. In the type of decks that discard, you never want to discard something to give stats to you. You want to discard to summon a unit on the board, like a Chompers. It's cool. You can make your Chompers like a 3/5, right? Sure, it works for that, but still doesn't seem good enough. It seems like too big of an investment. I think that's the best case scenario. You use this on a Chompers, but then why not just play Chompers Lulu, right? That's already a good deck. Seems bad. Back alley bar. It hurts. All right. It's really, really bad. I think even in like the best back alley barkeep deck, this is still really bad. I want it to be good. I really do, but I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. God damn it. Bag alley meta. I wish. Oh man, the RNG Fiesta we would be having every single day in a bag alley meta. I'd be all for it. Yeah, I agree with 5 out of 10 for this one. The flexibility makes it good. I think the weapon standalone is pretty below average. And if you get into the late game, the potential to summon an 8 mana 7/7 that can grow a unit really big is really cool. I think that is quite good. You can't use spell mana. The Darkins cost unit mana, guys. A def responded with that. 5 out of 10 for the flexibility, but standalone these cards are meh. Seal in Steel. I don't want to give this one a 1 out of 10. I'll give it a 3 out of 10 because I think there is some real potential where your opponent answers your unit, and if it's a big enough unit, you can use Seal in Steel on it, and then you have a potentially powerful weapon with potentially high stats in a region that has access to both Elusive and Overwhelm, and that's powerful. But paying 5 mana for that? Nah, that's not great. That actually seems kind of busted in Pantheon. You'd think so. Probably a 1. I could see it as a 1 of in Faded decks, yeah. Actually, that's a really good point. In Faded, that's really interesting. Like they finally answered your 8/9 Saga Seeker. You say nope, Seal in Steel, and then you have an 8/9 weapon to give to your Pantheon. Oh yeah, it procs Faded 2 before it goes off, so it will be a 9/10. Oh, that's interesting. But Faded is so bad right now, though. Faded is such a bad deck. All right, for that potential, I'll give it a 4 out of 10 because if there is a way to bring Faded back, I think this will be a 1 of. Yeah, a 1 or 2 of for sure. It's really cool for that. It's situational. I think the Nox equipment card might revitalize it. I kind of agree. Like that was my first thought too when I saw them revealed because Pantheon Riven is something people experimented with. I have no idea if that's going to be the optimal way to do it, but it seemed really cool. It has potential for sure. I think these are the ratings. They seem pretty random. With the way these cards are being revealed, by the way, these don't really look like they would go in the same deck together. So this makes me feel like the cards that we see here are probably not going to get a champion. Right? Is that how we see Variety? They release card for it, and then they're like, no, we're not releasing characters for these regions. Who knows? Maybe we are getting PNZ. Maybe we're getting Zac. Maybe we're just throwing equipment into Zac's goop, and he'll make something out of it. I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow we should be getting support cards for the new champion, and that's going to be really cool. Champions, I have no idea what's coming next. Like, we had Kayn, and then we saw Yi in some of the art, so we already knew that Yi was coming. But what's next? Is it Ornn? Is it Fiddlesticks? We don't know.